As our guest, David Jacek, who is going to be running the police academy for Harwich residents. And I guess it starts next month, and you have quite a lot of work to be discussing with our citizens.
Yeah, we give them a nice little segue into all of the subjects, a lot of the subjects that we cover at the police department. The class is going to be starting on Thursday, the 18th of September, runs through the 20th of November, so we'll get it done before Thanksgiving and the holidays.
That's good.
The classes run once a week on Thursdays. We usually schedule them for 6 to 8. Sometimes they run a little later. One of the weeks in the middle, there's a secondary class on a Tuesday to fit in all the subjects that we have to fit in, that we'd like to fit in prior to the holidays starting. So one of the weeks will be two classes. We also do a ride-along program where once during the class, all the students get to take a ride-along in the cruiser for 4 hours. And then one day, usually on a Saturday, we'll take them to the firing range and let everybody have a few shots through the handgun and the rifle.
Oh, very good. Sounds like a complete program.
Well, we try to. We hit a lot of the subjects that are the kind of the more interesting ones of all the things that we deal with on a regular basis, and it includes everything from, dealing with crime scenes where we have someone from the Barnstable County, and those guys come down and they fingerprint and they photograph crime scenes for us, and they'll have one of their officers come down and do a class. We one week that we do a alcohol awareness week where we have a couple of volunteer drinkers for the evening, and then after the class is done, we show some of the effects of the alcohol, of what they were able to consume in the span of about an hour.
Is that a big problem in the police community?
It's every town has their share of it. So yeah, every town has to deal with that to certain degrees.
Do they cause much problems?
Well, occasionally there's some accidents, and on a regular basis we get calls for erratic operations here and there, and sometimes it's alcohol involved, and sometimes it's just people not paying attention.
Right.
So, and some of the other subjects that we cover are domestic violence. We do give them a rundown of the actual criminal law and explain the different laws that we deal with, and things, what we can do, what we can't do, and why, and search warrants. And
the laws and criminal violence have changed, haven't they?
They're forever changing. Things are forever changing. In different subjects, something. Some law gets changed up at the State House, and then we have to incorporate it into what we do on a regular basis.
So they're ever changing. You guys must
forever changing, and that's why we're
keep after this program.
Yeah, and that's why we're continually going to all of the update schools to learn all the new changes in the laws, because we have to deal with it on a daily basis.
Yes.
And a couple of the other subjects that we deal with are, along with the alcohol education, we deal. Jack Burns, who's our animal control officer.
Yes,
he comes in and he
does a segment. He's been to my house a couple of times.
Jack comes in and does a nice segment about all the stuff that he does with the animals, and then we try to keep it moving for the course of the whole 10 weeks. One of our officers comes in and does a drug segment of all of the drug problems.
There are so many different drugs, my goodness.
Oh, there are. Yep.
And I understand that Harwich and Chatham and Brewster are very key in the drug enforcement area.
Oh, all the towns are, because it's a problem everywhere. And if you remember back in March, the governor, came out with his information that the opiates are an epidemic proportion, and it has been for a while. And all of the problems that are associated with that subject. So all of that will be covered in the drug segment.
Where do the people get the money to pay for these things?
Usually from stealing from whoever they can steal from, because
is that right?
It's very expensive, and you can't just hold a job and work and spend a few bucks on the drugs. It becomes all encompassing, and and Sergeant Brackett does that segment. He does a really good job with it, and he's got a lot of information about all the drug issues.
Yeah, wow, that's a big thing.
It is, and it doesn't seem to be getting any smaller right now.
How many drugs are there?
Oh, there's so many different varieties out there, and the one that the governor was talking about was all the opiates, and the oxys, and the heroines, and that group, which seemed to be the biggest problem at this point, because on top of the problems that they cause, people overdose from them, and
Then you get a
and die.
call and rush them to the hospital.
Right.
Hope you can pull them through.
and hope we can pull them through.
Mhm.
And so we're going to be putting out the applications for the class as of today. They're going to be at the station, and they're going to be here at the community center. And we're asking all of the residents of the town of Harwich, if you have any interest at all, come fill out an application and take the class. And we're hoping that you know, a lot of people in town are going to come take advantage of it.
Now, a couple of years ago, did you oversubscribe? I mean,
Not over, but the last few classes, we filled them right up.
you filled them right up, and that's how many?
We try to max it out at 25, because after that it just gets to be too hard to schedule the range day and the ride-along program.
Right.
So we try to limit it to 25, just so everybody has a comfortable room and also gets to partake in all of the activities that we offer.
Well, that sounds good. And is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Well, thank you for